Sit right here.
Like,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
the region for
I'll sit next to you.
Excellent.
Yes. Nope, you're in you have to get up and pop up and down. Right here.
I mean, every day is a learning experience with Rachel King.
Oh, absolutely.
This woman is very patient. They most
Test
certainly
check. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3. Check. Test 1, 2, 3. Test African audio. All right, guys.
Exit there. Yeah. Nature's here. Hi, how you doing? Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to see you. Good to see you. How are you? And her son told me, her son told me. So I wasn't sure where she should sit. I know Janae is This is Miss Lori Shanklin. She is the upper Genesis. Oh yes, how you doing? Right. I'm sorry. No, I know you're fine. You're fine. Thank you so much for coming. Hi, Tony. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. We're gonna have all of our special guests and VIPs to sit over here. So when it's time to do our large photo, we can definitely do that now. So this would be the place. Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Did it get out of
We're going to get going in a minute here. If everyone who is speaking, if you guys could join me up here, that would be great.
one.
We're gonna put Amanda up here between you and me.
Okay.
Lined up.
You mean
Yeah, this
there?
way.
Okay.
Ms. Gadsden. So do we have it?
How do you want us?
Everybody, let's see.
Well, where do you speaking? What do
Come on, go on this side. Come on, come on.
Yeah, we just need, yeah.
Come on up, Warren.
Susan's kicking us off.
Susan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think-
Susan,
Open
yes.
up.
I'm going to open up Susan. Then Jerry. Then Mayor Greenberg. Greenberg, you're before Janine. Congressman Garvey, when he gets here.
He's right
He's
there.
here. And Janine Wilborn. Please. Where is Amanda? I'm right here. And we go grab my notes after you put me on. Okay. Rachel. Miss Anita. Perfect.
Oh, she's there.
It's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janae Wilborn. I am the Governmental Affairs Liaison for the Environmental Protection Agency, Region 4. We're so happy to have you here today for our press event to promote environmental justice projects across Kentucky, funded by the Investing in America agenda under the Biden-Harris administration. I would like to bring up Ms. Susan Parks, Director of Strategic Programming Office.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Park. I'm the Director of the Strategic Programs Office at EPA Region 4, and it truly is a lovely day to be in the beautiful city of Louisville. I wanted to thank all of our distinguished guests, as well as our community partners and leaders in the audience for joining us at this event today. With a special thank you to Mayor Greenberg for hosting this celebratory event that highlights some of the remarkable partnerships and work we have done to advance environmental justice within the local community. With that being said, I'd like to invite Mayor Greenberg to the podium for welcoming remarks.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Susan, and good afternoon, everyone. This is a great day. Well, Congressman McGarvey and I have had conversations with Mrs. Gettle before for other great events like today, when we're celebrating other federal investments in our city from the EPA, like brownfields revitalization grants that have been made that we announced last year at Lou City Soccer Stadium. We've also had some more challenging conversations that the EPA has been a great partner on for our city, like last year when we were dealing with this unique situation on Applegate Lane. And the EPA was a great partner in that when we're dealing with challenging situations, and is a great partner on things like we're announcing here today and celebrating. And that's so wonderful because our administration is focused every day on making our city safer, stronger, and healthier. And part of that is ensuring that we have a healthy environment in every neighborhood. And that means clean air, water, soil, and so much more for our health, for our quality of life, and for our economy. See, here in Louisville, we dismiss the outdated notion that we have to choose between a healthy economy and a healthy environment. We need both, and we know that we can have both every day as we move into the future. And so focusing on having a green environment and a green economy and a thriving city are what we are focused on. And we are going to continue to work with federal, local, state partners for making great investments like we're here to celebrate today. I'm so extremely grateful for the federal leadership that we have representing us in Washington, D.C. with our Congressman Morgan McGarvey. I'm grateful for President Biden and his administration and the EPA, who has many representatives here today that are also doing amazing work. The bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act are providing us with once-in-a-generation opportunities that are supporting work, environmental work, in cities like Louisville, and are continue to help us invest in areas of our community that for too long have seen too much disinvestment. One great example we have here in Louisville is the Alberta O. Jones Park in the California neighborhood, which we celebrated the opening of last fall, thanks to the leadership of the Parks Alliance, who you'll hear more from their leader, Brooke Pardue, shortly. Residents of the California neighborhood have been involved with the new park and with Parks Alliance from the very beginning of that project, even choosing the name of the park after a Louisville trailblazer, Alberta O. Jones. And Ms. Flora, we're glad to have you here today representing your family. Federal funding helped with that park. It's helped with so many other important initiatives as we continue to move forward. And the EPA is also a great partner with our Air Pollution Control District. And you'll hear from Rachel about some of their partnerships that they're working on today to make sure that here in Louisville, we continue to focus on having clean air for everyone. You'll hear more about some great new projects as well. And there are many others that are here with us today to celebrate and talk about the great work that they are working on to make Louisville a healthier city for everyone. So again, thanks to everyone from the EPA. Thanks to our colleagues in Washington for investing across America, investing here in Louisville. This is another couple of great investments that we are here to celebrate. Our city has a couple of more pending grant applications as well for many more zeros after them than we're here to celebrate today. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed. We're not going to put any pressure on Ms. Gettle and her colleagues at the EPA, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's keep celebrating. Let's put this money to good use and continue to invest in our city's future. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Janine Gettle, and she is the Acting Regional Administrator for Region 4 of the United States EPA. Ms. Gettle?
Well, thank you, Mayor Greenberg. It is a pleasure to be back here in Louisville. And I will say that part of whenever you're going to do public speaking, it's about who you follow. And when you follow the mayor, you know that he's already done most of the work for you. So let me just, no, I'm happy for that. So let me just get to the point here today. We are here today to make some announcements on grants. Grants that recognize the exceptional work of cadres of people here in the Louisville metro area. People that are there to put in grant applications under two programs that are funded under the bipartisan infrastructure law that we could not do without the funding that came from the bipartisan infrastructure law and the commitment of the Biden-Harris administration to make sure that those funds go to communities that have been underserved and disadvantaged in the past, and to make sure that they are addressing issues that change the future of those communities. And so we're very excited to be here today, and I am particularly excited. I'm a long-term career employee at EPA. That's the reason it says acting regional administrator. And so it's really a pleasure to get to come and announce and congratulate Louisville Jefferson Metro County government for being one of just 7 selectees in our region. And our region is the largest region in the country for funding in the amount of $1 million from the Environmental Justice Government to Government program. And I'm also here to congratulate the Parks Alliance of Louisville for being just one of 9 people who are selected for a $500,000 in grant funding under the EJ Collaborative Problem Solving Agreement. And what I know is that I said one name for those grants, but each of those grants have many partners who are represented here today. And I just want to thank all of you for your time and effort. These grants are important because we have exceptional partners in this effort, and it will be very critical as they work to engage the residents here in Louisville as to address environmental concerns. We have worked closely with the Commonwealth and Louisville Jefferson County Metro, and I should have recognized our other partner, critical partner here in Kentucky, the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection, and the Deputy Commissioner here today with us. But we've worked extensively with Louisville Metro government before, addressing many issues, as the mayor said, and sometimes we're announcing great things, and sometimes we're addressing hard issues, but we find them to be exceptional partners. So thank you for that work and for the work that you're going to do. The Park Alliance has formed many relationships here in Louisville, and we are excited about their work to look at an urban heat island here in Louisville and look at how that affects the community, where we know that there's only about 1% of green space in parks, and what can be done about that in the future. So we're very excited about these. So we think this is going to provide tremendous service to the community. We think it's going to pilot innovation that maybe we hope to use in other places and have people learn from what you do. So all of this happens because of your efforts, and I want to thank you again. We want to thank again Congressman McGarvey, Mayor Greenberg, the Deputy Commissioner Amanda Lefevre, the Louisville Jefferson Metro County Government, the Parks Alliance, and all of the people who've contributed. I also want to acknowledge my own staff that are here today, Janae Wellborn, Susan Park. We have the project officers, Cheryl Good and Elle Sylvine are here, and Davina Marasini, who is the chief of my external affairs office. I look so forward to seeing the work that you do and the progress that you make and the innovation that you create through this process. And I'm so very proud to be able to be here and celebrate with you today. And it's now my privilege to invite to the podium someone who, without the work that he does and others, we would not have been able to have this day. So Congressman Morgan McGarvey, to say a few words, Congressman.
Thank you so much. The problem of going forth is truly your speech has been given at this point. I'm going to do my best not to repeat anything, but thank you all so much. This is a great day for Louisville. Thank you so much to our partners at the EPA and the federal government. Thank you so much to Mayor Greenberg and your entire team here at the city. They are working tirelessly to make sure we have safer, stronger, healthier neighborhoods. And I just want to point out a little bit about what this is and what this means. This is an example of what government can do. When we see a problem, when we partner with our state and city agencies and say, you know what, let's fix it. Because in Louisville, if you've been here in August, in the summertime at about 4 o'clock, you know we have a heat island in downtown Louisville. And you know there's something we can do about it. And it takes the funding, and then it takes the vision and the implementation to do something like build a park in Louisville's West End that we know makes us healthier, makes us cooler, makes us safer. It takes people coming together to say, you know what, we can do this. We can partner. And I think when you see a bipartisan infrastructure law, that's what we've done. We've said we know these problems exist and we can come together and solve them. And when you think about environmental justice, let's talk about what that means for just 1 second. We have areas in this city and all over this country where there hasn't just been a lack of investment, there's been an intentional lack of investment. And who suffers? The people who live there, oftentimes living there through government policies all on their own. And it is up to us to fix it. It's up to us to make it better. And today is a small step forward in that process. But I don't think we should stop here. Mayor Greenberg mentioned there's several other things, and I can tell you we are going to be knocking on your door at the EPA because Louisville deserves more. We've had too much. We've had too much overlook in our areas for too long. And we're going to make sure that we have environmental justice, which means clean water, which means parks, which means breathable air, which means safe streets. And it's something we can do. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited with the new leadership in the city. I'm excited to be working with the Parks Alliance and Brooke Pardue, her amazing work. I'm grateful to the Biden administration for their continued effort to make sure that we are making cities better all across this country, and look forward to the days ahead. Thank you, guys.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Amanda Lefevre with the Department for Environmental Protection. I serve as Deputy Commissioner, but for many years, I was in the Brownfield program. And one thing the Brownfield program taught me was the importance of addressing environmental justice, because I worked with people who are impacted by properties that, you know, they're basically the property's time is left behind. And it was always an honor to talk to people about how they wanted to reuse a site, to engage them in that in use when they didn't have this, decision-making power before. So I think when we talk about environmental justice, one of the great things about the pots of money that are available through the bill and the Inflation Reduction Act, is that they help us engage. They help us start conversations. They have seed money for planning. And a lot of times that's missing in our communities that are struggling with resources. So I just want to really thank EPA and the Biden administration, for thinking about those things as, we work not only with the city of Louisville, but also our, Eastern Kentucky counties that, have been impacted by floods. So across the state, we have areas that suffer their own forms of disinvestment. So this has been a magical opportunity for many of our communities. And you have such great support with that. One of the things that a lot of, I can tell you for many years being in the grant game, a lot of communities struggle with that capacity. Do you have a grant writer? Can you manage a grant on the back end? And I really have to applaud EPA for putting a lot of those services in place so our most pressed communities can access those funds and have those conversations and create a new future. So I will keep my comments overall short, because I know we get to talk about some wonderful projects that I'm excited about. I have not gotten to the park, and of course I'm excited about the Air Pollution Control District and their work. But just want to say thank you to EPA. Thank you to the City of Louisville for having us here today. And just, it's so important that we have these conversations, and we look forward to working with this community with these projects and ones in the future, and making the Commonwealth a cleaner, happier, and just a better place. So thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Hamilton, and I'm the Director of the Louisville Metro Air Pollution Control District. Thank you to Mayor Greenberg for hosting us today, and to our partners at US EPA. The data collected during the Ambient Air Toxics and Health Action for Rubbertown Area project is going to provide the Louisville Metro Air Pollution Control District with a tremendous opportunity to demonstrate and build on the progress made by our Strategic Toxic Air Reduction, or STAR program, and so many other efforts aimed at air pollution throughout our community. STAR, which was passed in 2005, remains one of the nation's most stringent local programs to regulate air toxic emissions from industrial sources. I want to be clear, STAR is not something that the district did. It's something that we do every day, because air toxic emissions are uniquely local. Importantly, this project is also an opportunity for our partners to create innovative software-based health impact evaluator tools to assist medical practitioners in early detection and treatment options. It's projects that will help evaluate ambient volatile organic compound exposure through wastewater analysis, while others will complete a health risk assessment whose findings will be used to develop and support policy recommendations for air pollution and land use to reduce exposure, and also advance health equity. Equally as important, all of this work will be done in partnership with our community, and the data will be shared as a community resource. It is necessary that this work isn't done just for the community, but with the community. I am grateful to the district's leadership on this project, especially Michelle King, Assistant Director, and Billy DeWitt, Air Monitoring Program Manager, for their hard work in developing and implementing the grant, and to the entire staff of the district who will use the data from this project in their daily work. I'm also grateful for our project partners, US EPA, the University of Louisville's Envirome Institute, the Park Duval Community Health Centers, Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness, and to our partners at the West Jefferson County Community Task Force, who, since the initial West Louisville air toxic study in 2000, remain a consistent voice for environmental justice in Louisville. With that, it is my privilege to introduce Ms. Arnita Gadsden, the Executive Director, West Jefferson County Community Task Force. Arnita.
Thank you, Rachel. They told me I had 2 minutes, so I looked it up and I saw it's 300 words for 2 minutes or 500, so I have 800. So I'm going to talk very fast here. The air toxics program, which is so important to us because it has reduced emissions by 85 and 90%. That is a miracle as far as I'm concerned. But the most important thing is that this was inspired by the community. The community is what put this together. That's who pushed it. And the West Louisville Air Toxic Study, which was developed with the partnership with the West Jefferson County Community Task Force, is the thing that led us to the STAR program. So it's like a burning building. You have a building that's burning. You don't stand there and look at the people and say, well, let me tell you what's getting ready to happen. You go in and you get them out. And what's important here is that we have to look at the actual environment around people. They can't move. The industry can't move, so we have to do something to touch and make them good. So the first thing we did was improve the environment that they're in. So we have taken that away. Now it's time for us to go and deal with the folks that help them on a daily basis. Who are they? It's our medical staff. When I talk to people about this, and I talk to every doctor, nurse, anybody in the medical field about this. And what makes it so great is that they are so interested. How come we don't have that information? Because we can't do our medical diagnosis as well as we can because we don't really deal with the issues of people living very close, in close proximity to these areas. This is what is so important to me. And anybody that knows me knows I've been preaching this, how many years? Several. Forever. I have been preaching this, is that I believe in touching the people. We have all kinds of reports that tell us how much we're dying, what we have, our short length. Guess what? We know that. I need you to write a report that tells me how we can become alive again. People that are healthy are creative people. When we're creative, we don't have to worry about a bunch of economic issues. As long as we don't hold them down, they're creative enough to develop their own lifestyle. So with that, I'm so glad that I'm finally getting here. This opportunity, I don't think that if I missed anything, maybe I need to turn it over and get the other half. But our role as far in this, I do have to say this, is that we are looking at, we have monthly meetings. We've had it for over 20 years. We have monthly meetings. We're going to add to that quarterly meetings. We're going to add to that radio outreach. We're going to add to that TV outreach and a podcast. We're going to update our website. So all of this information goes on it. So this is a big project and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Hello. My name is Brooke Pardue, and I'm the CEO of the Parks Alliance of Louisville. And we want to thank the EPA for recognizing the Alliance with this award. Our project is People-Powered Parks, and it illustrates our commitment to use public parks to strengthen neighborhoods and improve health and the environment. Environmental justice goes to the heart of what we do. We drive equitable investment in our public parks to improve the health and well-being of our community. We support Louisville Parks and Recreations Department, and specifically more than 100 parks and community centers, most located in under-resourced neighborhoods. Unfortunately, because of decades of disinvestment, most of our parks are in fair to poor condition in the very communities that need them the most. But thanks to Mayor Greenberg and Louisville Metro Council, informed by our Parks for All Equity Plan, much needed investments are now being made in Louisville's public parks. In all we do, the Alliance centers the voice of community, because who knows better what's needed to make a neighborhood more vibrant and healthy than the people who live there. This philosophy has been our North Star in creating Alberta O. Jones Park in West Louisville. The park is located in a low-lying area on Maple Street between Dr. W.J. Hodge and 25th. This residential area was devastated by catastrophic flooding in August 2009 when more than 7 inches of rain fell in just over an hour. With FEMA hazard mitigation funds, more than 100 homeowners sold their properties at the pre-flood value to prevent future residential flooding. As a result, the site encompasses our friends and partners at MSD and Louisville Metro. The first phase of the park opened this past November on 5 acres. Residents selected all the amenities from a stunning music-themed playground to walking paths to fitness stations, an outdoor classroom, and a picnic pavilion that doubles as a performance venue. The community even chose to name the park after pioneering attorney and civil rights champion Alberta Jones. When phase 2 construction is complete, we will have transformed almost 7 city blocks into a vibrant public park. Now, with this award from the EPA, we will continue to engage residents in park programming and stewardship. Our People-Powered Parks initiative funded with this grant will allow us to create a community council to oversee the park and guide decisions on programs and services. The award also augments funding we received from Metro United Way to fund a new job, a park superintendent to facilitate the work of the community council and to oversee park programming and maintenance. And these funds enable us to work with the Center for Health Equity at the Louisville Metro Department of Public Health and Wellness to conduct a health impact assessment that will engage residents in identifying ways to use the park to improve physical and mental health. Our partner organizations include Brightside, Bernheim Forest, and Louisville MSD, which will provide environmental education and resources. Separately, we're working with the YMCA to provide recreational programming. And the University of Louisville's Health Equity Innovation Hub will measure the impact of the project over time. The Alliance is so grateful to the Biden-Harris administration and our very own Congressman Morgan McGarvey for federal initiatives like this that advance health equity and justice, and for giving the people who've experienced the greatest environmental harms the opportunity to find solutions. One of those people is Anitra Beatty, a remarkable resident of the California neighborhood who has joined the Alberta O. Jones Park Community Council. Anitra has combined her talent as a chef and entrepreneur to establish a thriving business called Greens and Tings. She's an urban farmer and food justice champion who was recently named a Project Kilimo Fellow by the Louisville Urban League. Please join me in welcoming Chef E.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is amazing. Thank you, Mayor Greenberg. You've come into this game working, and we appreciate you. You're the bomb, by the way. Okay. Thank you, EPA, for this amazing moment, this amazing blessing to West Louisville. Like Miss Beautiful Brooke said, my name is Anitra Beatty. I'm a chef, a private chef. I am an urban agriculturalist. I just love being in the dirt. So my goal and my whole mission in life is to feed people healthy food. I have organic products, and everything I have, I don't use salt or sugar. I connect with local farmers. I source anything that I don't grow personally, I source from our local organic farmers. There's no reason people don't have any food, period. Especially in Louisville, Kentucky. We have the beautiful soil, we have the beautiful green spaces where we can grow food. So that is my mission in life, is to feed the people. So thank you very much for this moment. And the investment in our community really shows that people care. It shows that people see that it is a disparity in our neighborhoods. I'm originally from South Bend, Indiana. I've lived in Louisville for 18 years, and I've lived in West Louisville for 16 years. And I chose to move down there for one, the unity of it that's there, the people that are there, and the beautiful green spaces where food can be grown. As Brooke said, I'm a chef and I have a small business, and my goal is to make that bigger. I have the #1 hot sauce, just to let you know. If you haven't had it, you better get it. And after decades of government policies and disinvestments in our neighborhood, it's exciting to see that many positive things are finally happening. The creation of Alberta Jones Park is one of the major steps forward. It's already making a difference, beautifying an area that was devastated by the flood in 2009. And the trees are just amazing that's been planted. If you haven't been out there, please go. It's an amazing place. And just for the phase 1 to be beautified and just to look around and to see all the space that's going to be changed is amazing. So I'm thrilled to be a part of the community council, and Parks Alliance is really a very important alliance in Louisville, Kentucky. They are making moves, things are changing, they are utilizing the community, and they're not just a alliance or a program. This is a movement, and we're going to make this movement happen. So I believe in the wisdom and experience of the people who live here in our area and in Louisville, all around Louisville. And the whole message is each one teach one. Come together. We don't have to think about the differences between us color-wise. We're all people. We all need to eat. We all need healthy food. So let's come together and do that. The first occupation in the world was farming. That's what God gave Adam. So we need to get back into it, get in that dirt, even if you feel like, oh, I don't have a green thumb. Yeah, you do. You can come out and I'll show you, So it's important to incorporate our youth in doing this, because it's a lot of youth around here that just don't have anything to do. So if you teach them about where food comes from, they really want to know. They're excited about that. I was fortunate to teach a group of teens at the Parkland Boys and Girls Club, and we had a garden program last summer. And to just talk to them about the ingredients on a bag of Cheetos, hot Cheetos that they love to eat, to break down the ingredients for them blew their mind away. And so a lot of them were like, we're being poisoned. Literally, they came to the agreement, we're being poisoned. Yeah, let's not eat that. And for them to actually taste a fresh tomato that was harvested from what they planted, it's the most rewarding experience ever. So we're going to get out there at Parks Alliance over there at Alberta Jones Park, and we're going to put in fresh food in that dirt over there and that whole land over there, the urban ag space. It's going to be amazing. And this is going to bring community together. Everybody's going to be happy. It's going to be a safe space, clean space, cool space. So I want to say thank you to everybody, and let's get to work.
We have heard about some amazing projects. We have also been relatively quiet. So before we get to the Q&A, let's give one giant round of applause to congratulate APCD, Parks Alliance, and a giant thanks to our partners at the EPA for these investments in Louisville, and for we know what are going to be many more impactful investments like these in years to come. Congratulations, everybody. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Susan Park, who's going to be our MC if the media has any Q&A.
So we are excited about the projects to come. We are excited about the environmental justice grant-related outcomes that lie ahead. I wanted to thank Mayor Greenberg, Acting Regional Administrator Gettle, Congressman McGarvey, Deputy Commissioner Lefevre, and our grant selectees, honored guests, and community leaders that are here today. With that said, I'd like to conclude the formal portion of the program and turn it over to Ms. Janae Wilborn to facilitate the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We have a host of news, print, and digital media here today. And if you have any questions for any of our program participants, please state your name, the agency that you're from, and ask your question.
Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11 News. Can we just talk about what some of the factors the EPA considered when they decided to give this $1 million grant to APCD?
So I don't have the factors at my fingertips. We can get them to you. We publish, when we go out with a grant announcement, we publish the things that we're looking for and the way that, and we use a ranking factor through that. So after this, I'd be happy to give you my card and we'll get you those factors.
Can you just give me your gut reaction on what that ranking was? I mean, were we pretty high to be considered, what, 1 of 7?
I don't have that information.
David Williams, Spectrum News 1 Kentucky. When do you think we will physically, tangibly start to see some of the money come to fruition? Like physically see things start to sprout up in the ground?
Thank you for your question. So right now we're in the pre-award process. So there's internal processes that need to take place prior to the actual award. But we anticipate within the next couple months that the award should be on the ground and available for projects. Thank you.
Does that include all questions? Thank you so much for coming. If our community partners, if our program guests will give us a few minutes and bring some of our community partners up on stage, Ms. Jones, sir, if you will come up, we wanted to get one large photo with our community partners before we release our program participants. Thank you. We're gonna take one photo.
Get this photo with them.
Yeah, go for it.